just go ahead and dive right into this. And actually, before I go ahead and talk about OKC, I do want to say that the crazy Lakers trades, they're already starting. Like, ever since, like, I want to say maybe 3 years ago or something of that nature, for some reason, a lot of Lakers fans and a lot of Lakers accounts, they like to post the craziest hypothetical trades that could bring superstars to LA, and these trades are so ridiculous. Like, I'm looking at this trade right now, and it says the Lakers receive Kevin Durant for D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves, Roy Hachimura, Max Christie, and a 2029 first-round pick. So, obviously, this is a crazy trade, but, again, it's just a crazy trade. And one of the problems for the Suns is that they are basically stuck with their big three for a few seasons. Excuse me. They don't have any draft picks going into the future, and because of that, they have to sort of rely on Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and Bradley Beal for a majority of the for like at least maybe 2 more seasons. And I mean, that could end really good, but so far it's not proven to be good. But this could be like just, a really like a one bad season for the team, because they still need that chemistry to go up. But for that series, I mean, Kevin Durant, he played all right, but he didn't play nearly as well as you'd expect him to. Like, I think for that series in particular, I might as well continue to talk about that series. The co-MVP is between Anthony Edwards and Rudy Gobert. So he ended the series averaging 31 points, 6 assists, and 8 rebounds with 2 steals on 51, 44, and 84 shooting splits with 64 true shooting percentage. And with Rudy Gobert, he ended the series averaging 15 points, 11 rebounds, and 1 steal with 71 true shooting. And obviously, those two, it's between either of those two. Those two, they played a very important role to winning the series. Now, the Devin Booker, he was the best player on the losing team, averaging 27 points, 3 rebounds, and six assists with 1 steal and 49, 35, 95 shooting splits with 66 true shooting. Now, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, he was really good off the bench for that series. But Bradley Beal, he was really bad for the Phoenix Suns. He only averaged 16 points and 4 assists with 3 turnovers on 44, 44, and 80 shooting splits. And he also did not play very well in Game 4 for only getting 9 points, fouling out, and getting 6 turnovers and shot 4 of 13 from the field. So it's really the fact that it's really Bradley Beal that's sort of been the reason as to why the Phoenix Suns weren't able to have the same success in the postseason as they usually have. But regardless, I'm sure they'll figure it out towards the end. But with OKC, they seem to be a team that has already figured it out in this postseason, as they are the youngest team to ever win a postseason series. They won this final game 97-89, and obviously, they move on to the next round. It's still decided on who they're going to play between either Dallas or the Clippers. But Shai Gilgeous ended the game with 24 and 10. Jalen Williams ended the game with 24 and 8, and Chet Holmgren ended the game with 14 points. Lou Dort ended with 11 points. And Chet also was able to end the game with 9 rebounds. Obviously, this was a very good performance coming in from from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Great performance overall in the series. I think he's definitely, like, without a doubt, the series MVP. Without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the Thunder wouldn't have won that series whatsoever. He finished the series averaging 27 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 1 steal on 48, 29, 73 shooting splits, shooting 55% on true shooting from the field. And surprisingly, I thought the Finals LeBron was going to be, like, I call the Finals LeBron, like, the best player on the losing team. I thought it was going to be CJ McCollum, who was going to end up being the best player on the losing team, or Brandon Ingram, but instead it was Herbert Jones, who finished the series averaging 13 points, nearly 6 rebounds, 1 steal, and almost 3 assists on 39, 33, and 100 shooting splits. Obviously, like, the shooting splits, they weren't really that good. Now, the best player coming off of the bench was Larry Nance Jr., and again, it just really shows just how badly the stars for the Pelicans played in this playoff series. So, excuse me, but Brandon Ingram, he only averaged 14 points per game, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 35% from the field, 25% from 3, and 90% from the free throw line on 45% true shooting. So this is obviously, like, really bad. And CJ McCollum, he also did not play well in this series whatsoever. He averaged 17 points. That's how much points he ended off in the series. 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 turnovers, and 1 steal on 42% shooting from the field, 24% from 3, and 100% from the free throw line for 47% true shooting percentage. So obviously he played really, really bad in a lot of the games. And Brandon Ingram, in an elimination game, in Game 4, scored only 8 points and shot 2 of 14 from the field. So obviously that is really, really bad coming in from Brandon Ingram. I mean, 8 points on 2 for 14 in an elimination game. Jesus, I can't speak English. Is just unacceptable. And for the Thunder, Jalen Williams, he ended the series averaging 21, 7, and 5. Chet Holmgren ended the series averaging 15, 8, and 2. Lou Dort ended the series averaging 11, 4, and 2. And Aaron Wiggins ended the series averaging 5, 3, and 1 on 66% true shooting. Everyone that I mentioned before shot at least or averaged at least 57% from true shooting percentages. And Lou Dort shot 67 had a 67% true shooting, which was really, really good considering how, in the play-in when not in the play-in, but in the playoffs when he played against James Harden in Houston, he sort of struggled up until the elimination game. And now we've sort of seen, like, the consistency from him overall in this postseason, which was something that was lacking for Lou Dort for a majority of the series. But that's basically, like, my opinions for everybody on this series. And the Thunder, they played very well. They proved most of the haters wrong, where, like, a lot of them were saying, like, oh, this is going to be the Thunder's first series, and we have no idea how well they're going to play, and they're probably going to be they had a lot of doubters. I will say that they had a lot of doubters going into this postseason, but so far they're proving all of them wrong, and that's really, like, the best thing you can ask for when you are when you have a team like this, because when they're this young and they're still, like, and they still need to, like, develop their skill, but right now they're still winning. it really shows that like this team is sort of like it's ready for success. Like it's eventually going to end up in a championship. It has to. And this could be, like, I wouldn't be surprised if, I'm getting email after email, geez. I wouldn't be surprised if this team ends up, like, sticking together long term for, like, 15 plus years, maybe. Or maybe like 10 at the very least. And they end up becoming the equivalent to the San Antonio Spurs. Because if you think about it, they have all the players in the position to sort of fulfill that role. They have a competent guard in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, similar to how they had a competent guard in Tony Parker. They also have a competent shooting guard in Jalen Williams, similar to how they had a competent shooting guard with Manu. And they also have a very good big man with Chet, similar to how they had a good big man with Tim Duncan. Now, obviously, like, there's no telling how good these players are going to be in the future, but who knows how well they could develop. But that's just food for thought. And with that, we are out of time for the second segment. So now I will go ahead and go into the third segment where I talk about the Celtics beating the Miami Heat in this next game in Game 4, where they're now expected to play Game 5 in Boston, I believe, tomorrow at 7:30. Excuse me. My bad, I have allergies. They're really bad. But regardless, I'll be right back after this short break, and I'm going to go ahead and talk about the Boston Celtics series, so stay tuned for that.
Looking for your daily fix of sports talk without having to pay for it? GSMC Sports Network is available on YouTube. Just search GSMC Sports Network. Get your fix of daily sports talk shows on YouTube, absolutely free. NFL, college football, NBA, MLB, MMA, UFC, fantasy football, and so much more. GSMC Sports Network has shows running all day long, with new sports shows starting every 2 hours. Just like on your favorite cable sports channel, except GSMC Sports Network is absolutely free. Just search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube to catch one of your new favorite shows, like the GSMC College Football Podcast, Chip Shot Football Podcast, Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, GSMC Basketball Podcast, and so many more. Check it out for yourself. GSMC Sports Network, now available on YouTube absolutely free. Search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube right now.